Hi, I'm Alice Woolfolk. My aim of my project is to investigate the stress caused to fish and marine mammals by man-made sound caused by boats and shipping. My project is intended to be done in 2 stages. Stage 1 is to monitor levels of boat noise rather than cetacean sounds by using a hydrophone and current meter launched at specific locations in the Fowl estuary and at another contrasting location. Stage 2 is to conduct a lab test under controlled conditions, investigating the stress levels of a fish caused by exposure to noise. Stage 1. The second location, which I mentioned before, should preferably be contrasting to the Fowl in terms of boat traffic. So I thought maybe sort of vessel permitting to go around the Lizard Point and deploy my hydrophone, or at the entrance to the Helford estuary, so it's similar but not as heavy with boat traffic. Recordings gathered between the 2 sites can then be compared and comparisons made between the 2 areas. Before I sort of even intend to start this investigation with the hydrophone, I'd like to get in the water with the hydrophone and record certain measurements away from the boats with the engine running and with the propeller running, and sort of record the sounds that it makes. So it acts as sort of a benchmark to compare my real recordings to. The hydrophone and current meter should be deployed once a month for a maximum period of 6 months in both locations. This should give me sufficient data to sort of analyse. My Gantt chart that I've given you does show that stage 1 shouldn't be started till August, but due to an earlier discussion with Harriet, the availability of a hydrophone could possibly be brought forward, so this could possibly even be started at the beginning of the summer, which would be better because boat traffic in the summer is heavier with recreational and commercial, and then as the 6 months go on, sort of tourism will drop, and I can sort of get a better grasp of the more commercial side as to how much boat traffic is sort of affecting the noise levels in the water. The second stage of my project is the noise in the tanks. This will be produced by a battery-powered fish finder, which one of my supervisors, Craig Baldwin, has kindly said he would lend me. And the stress on the fish will be measured by monitoring the growth and feeding rate of the fish. It should hopefully be started during the summer break with Craig by catching and acclimatising the fish in the tanks inside the lab. These fish will then be monitored, and when sort of deemed ready, the test will be started. 3 tanks will be used, but only one will actually have a working fish finder on. One will be a control, and the other will be a dummy tank with just the fish finder box in there. Each time the fish are fed, they'll be monitored as to how much they're feeding, and they will then be sort of either weighed or measured as in terms of their growth rate over a period of 3 months. To carry out my project, my resources that I feel I sort of need is obviously the hydrophone. Obviously earlier it emerged that this could be loaned to me by Harriet, and if this falls through, then potentially I'd like to hire one. Obviously funding would be needed, but we need to sort of research into how much that would be at the moment. Boat hire to carry out the deployments, because to do it off the shore, it won't give a sort of valid reading all the way around the hydrophone. It will be affected by wave movement. So to pick up an optimum range of boat needs to be used really, either in the form of like a hire boat or the shared use of another vessel if someone else is going out and would be willing to stop at my GPS locations. A current meter, which is funded by Found Marine School, because we already have one, and the 4 fish tanks. Obviously the 3 for my test and 1 to keep my spare fish in case, heaven forbid, one should die. The battery-powered the battery-powered fish finders should be sort of have agreed to be loaned to me by my supervisor, Craig.
Thank you.
What species of fish are you going to use?
I'm still looking into that, but it could possibly be a small mullet, hopefully.
Is there a elaborate equivalent in the fish world?
Yeah, I mean, Craig is still looking into what type of fish to choose.
Yeah.
I haven't quite decided at the time of writing.
What sort of noise does the fish finder make? I wasn't aware they made a noise, to be honest with you,
No, it's more a
but pulse.
yeah, it's with an imitation of a sonar unit. So
But do they actually make a noise?
I'm not sure.
They do, because that's how they
Yeah.
detect the fish.
So they bounce
So they
back
bounce,
sound.
they send sound out, and when they bounce it back, then the scattering tells you whether there's something in the way. As far as I understand.
Yeah.
I would just check.
I was going to say, let's double check on that one,
Because I
shall we?
can't, I've sold a lot of them and fit, we've seen them, I've fitted them, but I
What
can't remember
sound
them
do
being
they
noisy.
It's not in human hearing. It's not like we would feel it or notice it.
Yeah, you see?
They see.
But they're
So
much
I've
more
got three-
sensitive.
But then, is that, I mean, you're talking about,
It's more of a pressure almost.
yeah, yeah,
In a
yeah.
pressure wave.
But then that's, I mean, I died a lot when I was younger. But big apples make a certain sort of noise, diesels make another. I mean, is that representative? The fish
In terms of my
finder?
test, I think it is representative
So
just
noise
for
will-
noise in general. Obviously, different frequencies have different effects. Like the frequency of a tanker will affect a cetacean more than a fish finder will affect a cetacean due to hearing ranges. So the fish I will use in a tank will be able to detect the fish finder noise, whereas I couldn't like go to like a seal sanctuary and say, "Can I put a fish finder in your tank?" because it wouldn't work.
No, I understand that.
We're starting small, aren't we, Alice?
Yeah.
But can you be sure that your diagnosis will be on weight, presumably,
Yeah.
you see? So, but can you be sure that they're all going to grow at exactly the same rate?
That's why I'm going to have more than one fish in each tank. So it's gonna
No, I appreciate that, but if you've got 10 fish in the tank, and if nothing else, well, I suppose you've got the
Got control
control
tank.
there, right? Right, talk yourself
She's
into
already
it.
through it.
Yeah, I got there in the end.
Hi, I'm Alice
Thank you,
Boyle. My project is to investigate the effects of stress on fish caused by boat noise in the Foul Estuary and another contrasting location. My bid, I feel, went kind of well. Harriet liked it, and she gave me a lot of information about how to go about hiring a hydrophone or potentially using one they already have in the farm.